Hello and welcome back. This is Amit Lathigra. In this video, I am demonstrating you how to place different controls in your HTML page. Whenever you are filling any form, it's quite often that you are entering your details like your name, your date of birth, your gender, your interest, hobbies, whether you are interested to receive the newsletters or not. So to have such kind of controls, basically these all controls are referred as input controls. So to have such kind of input controls in your page, you can use HTML element as input. Very common input element is text box. So let me demonstrate each of the control in this video. So let me share my code window. To have control in your page, what you need is input tag. If you don't write anything, by default it is going to place text box. Let me show you demo so that you will get an idea in form of its output. Let me open my HTML page in web browser. So this is a text box where I can enter my name. Here, let me specify one title. Use of input HTML element. Now let me demonstrate you each of the input elements one by one. If you want to have text box, which is default by the way, but explicitly if you want to specify text box, then what you can use type is equal to text. Refresh page, your output remains as it is. If you want to ask user to enter password, then you can use input type is equal to password. Let me refresh the page. Now here, whatever text you enter, it's displayed as echo character. If you want to specify checkbox, then you can use input type is equal to checkbox. For an example, you want to specify a message. Are you interested to receive newsletters? Yes or no. So input type is equal to checkbox. So here you will get a message. Are you interested to receive newsletters? If you want to receive, you can select or you can deselect. You can have multiple checkboxes as well. For example, I want user to ask, what are your favorite colors? And I want to specify 4 different colors: red, green, blue, and orange. Here you will get 4 different checkboxes. In checkbox, it is possible to have multiple selections. By default, if you want to keep green color as selected one, or say orange color selected one, to keep by default red color selected, you can use attribute checked along with red. Let me refresh this page. Now if you check, by default red is checked. You might have a situation where you want to provide an input to the user multiple options, and user should be in a position to select one out of many. This is possible with the help of radio button. To have a radio button, you can use input type is equal to radio. And here you can specify text associated with radio. For example, I want to ask a user something like select your country where you born. So you are having multiple countries and user will select one out of many. For example, say India. Let me have 4 different countries. So United Kingdom, USA, Nepal, and if any of the country not listed, say other. This is how to place radio button. Usually in radio button, user can select one out of many, but let me try to select multiple options, and here I can select. The reason is I have not specified a logical group. To make a logical group, you can use name attribute of input control. This name attribute you can use with any of the input type, and it indicates name of this control which you can access through server-side scripting language. Also you can use ID attribute if you are interested to access controls value through JavaScript, which I will demonstrate in my subsequent videos. Then you can use ID. So here let me create a logical group as countries. Now if you want to keep all these radio buttons inside a single logical group named as countries, then you need to keep same name for all 5 controls. Let me refresh page. Now let me select say India, and let me change my selection from India to Nepal. So here if you observe, I can select one radio button out of 5. By default, if you want to keep India selected, then you can use checked attribute with radio button which specifies text India, and here you can change it as per your requirement. So as of now I have discussed input type is equal to text to have a text box, input type is equal to checkbox, type is equal to password, type is equal to radio. If you want to place a submit button, then you can use input type is equal to submit. Basically, submit button we are using to post a content whatever you have specified from your system through your HTML form to a server. For that, you need to create form in your HTML page, and to create a form you can use form, and you need to specify action which indicates where you want to transfer a content from your HTML form. Basically it's a file name, so some page.php. This page is not exist, but I'm demonstrating you to explain use of type is equal to submit. I want to specify a message, enter your name, and in new line let me use input type is equal to text. Let me save my page. Let's check out. So enter your name and submit. I used action as some page.php which is not exist, but let me show you what will happen if I click on submit. If I click on submit, it transfer control to some page.php, but this page is not exist. What I mean to say here is use of submit button is to post content to some other page, and basically that page contains server-side scripting language like PHP. Like submit, you can use input type is equal to reset. Purpose of reset is to keep the state of form to a default one. For example, let me write my name Amit Latigra and let me click on reset. So as I click the reset, my text box came into the default state without any text. You can specify some default text using value attribute. For example, name. Let me refresh my page to demonstrate you use of reset. Now what I'm doing, I'm entering my name. Let me click on reset. So if you check, if you click reset, it keeps your control in default state. So input type is equal to text, type is equal to radio to have a radio button, type is equal to checkbox to have a checkbox, type is equal to submit to keep a submit button, type is equal to password to keep a password, text box where you can't visualize the entered text, and type is equal to reset. In the same way, you can have normal button, say input type is equal to button, input type is equal to use input type is equal to button, display regular button. So if you click here, you can carry out some task. Let me just give you a demo. Actual script I will demonstrate when I will introduce a video about JavaScript. But for reference, I'm handling here click of this button. If user is clicking on this button, what I want to do, I want to display a message, you have clicked button. To handle click, I need event handler, and here I am using event handler as on click. So what I want to do, on click, I want to display a message in my window. So for that I can use window object of JavaScript, and it is referred as document object model dot alert, and let me specify message as you have click button. Let me end my parenthesis and let me refresh my page. Let me click here. If you check here, I received a message, you have clicked button. Let me click on OK. So this is a normal button. Difference between button and submit is in click of submit, it is going to post your content from your form to a server through a particular page which contains server-side scripting language like a PHP. And if you click on normal button, you can handle its click through client-side scripting language like JavaScript. What else you can do with input? If you want to place file browser, for example, you want to ask a user that upload your photograph. To do this, what you can use, input type is equal to file. So here if you check, it gives a message, no file chosen and one button. Let me click here. If you click here, it gives you file open dialog box. From here you can select a particular file and file name appears here as on.gif. If you want to upload this file on server side, then again, as I discussed earlier, you require server side scripting language. In this video, I am demonstrating you how to place a control. As per the requirement, you can use associated properties. Next, what you can do to have a color picker, you can use input type is equal to color. So here if you click, it gives a color picker. From here, you can choose a color model. For example, let me select a color of kind say blue, and from here you can adjust intensity. It is equivalent RGB model. Say portion of red is 20, portion of green is 65, portion of blue is 230. From here, you can change color model. It is HSL and this is hexadecimal. What else you can do? Input type is equal to date. If you use input type is equal to date, it gives you date picker. From here, you can select year. From here, you can select month and then you can select date. Next, you can have input type is equal to month. If you use input type is equal to month, it gives you month picker, say June 2020. From here, you can select year, say August 2014. So input type is equal to month, input type is equal to number. If you use input type is equal to number, here you can't enter any characters. You can only enter numbers, and this you can adjust using vertical scroll bar. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Next, if you want to specify time picker, you can use input type is equal to time, and from here you can select time. Let me select 6:30 p.m. This is all about how to use input HTML element in your HTML page. So I started with how to keep a text box, then I discussed how to keep password box, then checkbox, then radio button, then submit, then reset, normal button. Then I discussed how to upload a file. So input type is equal to file, color picker, date picker, month picker, time picker, number, and so on. So I hope you liked this video. Keep watching my upcoming videos to make yourself familiar with basics of HTML. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day.